Hello, my name is Rachel and I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to do a quick garden tour. I had to come out. I need to pick some parsley for some soup that I'm making, and I figured the garden is looking very lush and I need to cut a lot of things back probably tomorrow. It's about 55, very unseasonably cool today, but tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 70s and cloudy, so it'll be a perfect day to get out here and work in the garden. So in the meantime, I thought I would just share a quick walkthrough. Let me flip the camera around. We are right towards the end of May in central North Carolina. We've had a very unseasonably dry spring, and I have barely watered this garden at all. I've maybe watered it 3 times so far this spring because we've been having some difficulties with our watering system, getting it put together. So everything's coming in a little slow, but then also not. Some things are very happy. I did mulch a ton this winter, so I think the soil was able to retain moisture a little bit better. But as you can see, I need to come in here and get my tomato plants set up on their trellis system. So here I have a kale. This is mostly a trap crop at this point. Tons of little eggs and little bugs. I need to actually cut some of this back, and I like to give it to our chickens because they get to eat the kale and all of these little critters. Here I have tomatoes all along here, and I have them set up on a little trellis system where I can wrap the tomato around this as it grows. Works very well. I had great success last year with it. Here I have potatoes, and that is one carrot top that I actually planted this spring because that's exactly what I wanted. I was hoping I would get carrot flowers from it. The pollinators love it. It looks beautiful. I could save the seeds if I want to. And then down in here, I have some, this is Malabar spinach that self-seeded from last year. It's a spinach that does well in the hot weather. It's, I think, from Thailand, somewhere in a much warmer climate. And so it's a little bit different texture than standard spinach. It's a little bit thicker, but tastes really good, and it works really well when you're using it in similar settings, especially cooked. Fresh, you can notice a difference, but cooked, it doesn't seem that different. Here I have some squash tucked in here, and there's another one back in there. And then I have some snow peas, and there's some self-seeded cosmos that are poking up through the potatoes. Wow. Oh my gosh. I was just here like 2 days ago and you could see dirt everywhere. These have gone crazy. I didn't even realize how big these had gotten. So this is an amaranth that self-seeded from last year, but then I moved them over into this bed. So this is a brand new bed this year. And so I planted beans because they help to fix the nitrogen in the soil. So I figured they'd be able to handle the nutrients in this new bed because I used a lot of like random soil I had throughout and mulch and things like that. Here are some self-seeded tomatoes that I'm letting go, and that is, I don't know what, some type of flower. And then, okay, this one I didn't do a squash. I couldn't remember if I did a squash. Oh yeah, there is some type of cucumber or squash. I'm not sure what it is. This is a mixture of a bunch of different types of beans. I just kind of emptied out a bunch of my packets and threw them in here. Pretty heavy. Oh, there's a kale tucked in there. It actually will probably like the shade. Probably appreciates that shade. That's a lacinato kale. Here is a Siberian kale, so a very different style of kale. This bed is in the future. Oh, cool, look. Look at these little mushrooms that grew. I put this, both of the beds have it, but this has the biggest. These are these huge oak logs that I put in here because I figured they'll slowly break down. And again, I was trying to do anything to keep from using too much soil in these brand new beds. So it's really cool. That's just grew itself. It's really good to help fix the soil around it, so I'm just going to let them go. But this bed in the future is going to be my strawberry and asparagus patch. And this is the oat grass growing from the oat. I'm not too worried. At some point I can pull some of it out. Again, something great for the chickens, but really I'm just trying to let anything green grow in here because my purpose is over this year I want these to run and kind of take over, and then in the spring asparagus can push up through, and you can kind of have this as your low plant, asparagus as your tall one. And then each year I'll probably plant like I did this year. Here we have some squash. That's a volunteer tomato that I might leave, I might not, I haven't decided. And then here's another squash. So I figure that can vine up over. I have these cattle panels set up. And then that takes me to the next bed. Well, first, this is a wild tomato patch, but it's not wild tomatoes. They are cultivated tomatoes. Oh my gosh, tomatoes. Strawberries, not tomatoes. Strawberry patch that I actually meant to tear out this spring, but it was growing so many tomatoes. I keep saying tomatoes. So many strawberries that I just let it go. And it is loving life. It's loving where it is. It's grown a ton of strawberries. So I figure as long as it likes it, I like it. You can't really see them, but in here I have the exact same tomato setup, different tomato varieties, but I have 6 lined up. Actually, they're doing a lot better over here. Maybe I'll come around and show it from the other side. These are a lot bigger than the other one. I wonder if this bed gets a little more sun. In here, kind of the same thing again. Somewhere in there I have some squash plants. Squash and cucumber, I kind of have them all mixed. Here is a potato experiment that I think I need to water more deeply because this looks like it's still not wet throughout. So I'm trying to see if I can get potatoes to grow through here and then stack it up over and over again. This is the potatoes that you can stack up, and each layer will produce more potatoes. This is mostly flowers, celery, more kale, flowers, a tomato. There's like a white cherry tomato. Here, same thing, potatoes, lots and lots of potatoes. And then this bed is when you start to see my buckwheat. This is all self-seeded buckwheat. I let that go to seed. Usually you can get 3 to maybe even 4 crops of buckwheat each season here in central North Carolina. So I like to have it for the pollinators. It produces little buckwheat grains, which are a great source of protein and fiber. You can use it as grain if you want to, but I also just like to break it off at the base and give it to our chickens. So it's a nice supplemental food source for them. These 2 beds, by the way, are my daughter's. So my one and my other, and then this one, again, with a self-seeded buckwheat. You can kind of tell the difference. This bed gets less sun than this bed. So in here we have some, looks like some radishes that have gone to seed, again, because I didn't water them. They did not like it. We have a kale, another tomato. In here, if it survived, it looks like it's still trying. There's a little watermelon plant, but I'm not sure if it's gonna survive. Some beets, and then some lettuce tucked in here that I could probably come and pick tomorrow. I don't work hard to keep my plants alive. I figure if they survive, they survive, and if they're not meant to be. I work a full-time job, take care of my kids. I'm in different sports. I like to do different things, so I don't make this my entire expenditure of time. Here we have another kale. I'm gonna actually come and pick some either tonight or tomorrow to make green smoothies. I use this in salads, soups, but green smoothies are another great way that I really like to use up our kale, our chard, and our beets. Here we have a volunteer sunflower that I do think I transplanted. Here's, I really need to come out and get these wrapped around the vines. I did not realize. So I started fertilizing my tomatoes. I'll have to share the fertilizer that I use because these have jumped. Oh my gosh, like I did not even expect these to be this big. So we have a variety. And maybe in a separate video, once these start going to fruit, maybe I'll show all the different varieties of tomatoes. It's a lot. All right, here we have another tomato. This is a cherry tomato, so I don't plant cherry tomatoes in this method because I find they like to branch out a lot in the single stem method. It's just annoying to keep up, and I feel like it slows down production. So I like to grow cherry tomatoes on the trellis system with the cattle panels that they can just go crazy. So in here we do have cucumber. So this buckwheat I do need to cut back tomorrow. So that's where I was saying I am going to come in, oh my gosh, and clear out, not all of it, because I do want some of it to go to seed, but I'm going to clear out a bunch of it, probably in stages over the next few days. I'm going to clear it out mostly around my plants first, but I'm going to give it to the chickens over several days. I don't want to give it to them all at one time because they won't be able to eat it all. Another tomato. Another tomato. Oh, there's one more tucked in there. In here, you cannot see them. if it survived, there's some spinach, some kale, and then there's a row of like 4 bell peppers that I don't even know if they've survived through all of this. I did not realize it's been a long 2 weeks. I have been out here a little bit, but I don't think I realized just how much this stuff jumped. Here we have another celery. These are a couple of onions, and then there's a couple of leeks that lasted from last year that I missed when I was harvesting. Here we have, this is a Hungarian pepper variety. There's one there, and wait, oh, there we go. There's the other one right there. We have zinnias that self-seeded. Beets. These beets were looking really sad for a long time, so I'm so excited to see them. We have eggplant in there. Oh wow, this cucumber is doing much better than the cucumber on the other side, probably because it's getting more sun. This one too. So I do need to come in and train them to go up here as a trellis. I need to wear long sleeves to do that because cucumbers tear up my arms and I itch for hours. Here we have, I would say that I think this is a Cosmo, but it definitely is a different type of Cosmo. These are clover, like a red clover, so it's not the same that grows in our grass. And I'm actually surprised they've survived. Oh wow. Then we have a fennel, beets in here. Oh, looks like some of my zinnias. All the zinnias are self-seeded. Most of what you see outside of the beets, a lot of that's just self-seeded. Some kale, some weeds that I don't even know what they are. Here we have a ton of broad beans. So fava or broad beans I have here, along there, and here. Here we have my other patch of, these are all yellow onions, just a standard yellow onion. Okay, yes, those are, I think they're like the bright orange Cosmos. Not my favorite color, but they self-seed like crazy. So be warned, they self-seed like crazy. And then, looks like my little tomato seedling. I don't know what it is about this spot. This is the second year in a row that I've lost my tomato seedling. I need to dig down and see what's going on under the ground there. And it's raining, so I probably should hurry up. In there I have some radishes that went to seed, some more self-seeded Cosmos. There are some cabbages tucked in there. Here we do have more zinnias, buckwheat, Cosmos. So this is a little self-seeded haven. I do have to come through and clear some of this out. Some more self-seeded sunflower. If that's, maybe we can play a game on how many times I said self-seeded in this video. Here we do have some squash. They tend to grow, everything tends to grow slower here. This spot, just our watering system tends to have a harder time right here for some reason. And I do need to come in and I might try to see if I can cut a few pieces off my tomato plants and get some more starts going to fill in some of my tomato holes that I have. There's a celery. It's crazy though. You see how dry the ground? Can you see that? So that's under the sunflowers. So be warned, wherever you have a sunflower, it will not get water underneath, barely at all. Especially if you have the watering coming from above, like when it rains. Here I have a bunch of snow peas. The one on the end looks a little stressed from the other side, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But I need to come out and harvest these. These are incredibly sweet, and they're also like, I don't know if you can tell, they're not smooth, they're very bumpy, but I love this variety because they're just so sugary sweet. Some weeds, lettuce, the cabbage I mentioned earlier, my broad beans that have fallen over. I should probably tuck those back up. I'm pretty sure that's a self-seeded tomato. I'm not 100%, I have to check. And I'm not sure about that one over there, but there's one tucked in there too. And then this is, oh good, it's going to seed. So this is chervil, which is something that my mom used to grow growing up. And I was really excited when I saw the seeds, and then I didn't use it at all. It also went to seed very quickly this spring because of how dry it was. So it's not a strong flavor at all. So it is a really nice herb, especially to add to like dressings when you want a little bit of herbaceous, but you don't want a really strong flavor. It maybe has the tiniest anise flavor, but not overpowering at all. I just realized here's another amaranth that self-seeded. This bed, I've just let go crazy. I guess this one and that one. But that parsley is what I need to get in here to get some of, and it looks like I need to come out and pick broad beans again. I am letting our parsley go to seed. I need to plant some more to put in, and I need to get some more beans planted to fill in, because once I cut some of this back, I'll have a lot of empty space. And I like to do beans staggered, cucumbers staggered, and then I just never got around to planting like a summer crop of parsley because all of mine was still doing so well. And somehow I completely missed planting dill. I'm not sure if it's going to be too late, but I am going to try to get some dill in as well. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you spending this time here with me today, and I hope you have a great day. All right, let's see. I don't want to step on any plants, and with this buckwheat being so full and thick, I can't even tell if I am. I'm just gonna come in and grab a bunch. I have a pretty big pot of soup, so I think it can handle that. And I might come over here and just for funsies, add a little bit of this older Italian parsley, because in the soup it can handle it. I put stem and all. I rinse this off and just throw all of this because the stems, don't sleep on celery and parsley stems. They have tons of flavor, especially if you're cooking them into something. All right, well now, thank you. Have a great day.